I'm just gonna see if I can put the rear axle on the right side back together again today. By the way, it's pretty nice to see this now. If you remember how this looked when I took it apart, it was terrible. So let's see if we can put the rear axle arm in there today. I wanna grease the threads here. Let's get it in there. Oh, with the right side. Oh, there goes the cap. Doesn't matter. Wonderful. There. And yeah, of course, this. I'm gonna need a new rubber stop here. That was just stupid to think this would work with the old one, because it's too small. It just falls out all the time. But let's try. Just align this in here. There's the alignment there, and then typical. Nope. The ring nut on the inside is going in perfectly, but there is something here that's not straight. I'm not a DS expert. I'm actually pretty unfamiliar with these cars. When I bought this car, it's more than 20 years ago. That was my first DS. I didn't have a clue how it worked. It was just this old classic, famous, iconic Citroën. Yeah. Already then I knew everything about gears. But this, I think it's traveling in slowly. You can watch this on YouTube pretty much everywhere. How to change this one, how to change that one, how to lubricate and do everything, how to use Ligarex and everything. So I didn't feel any need to film it actually, because it's not. It's old news. So lubrication. Where's the... Some SKF lubrication on there. So can we put this from this side? Where is the... yeah. Okay. So it goes in there, goes in there, turns around. It's got a flat surface pointing up. Well, there. And why not put this in immediately? So we have this. If it's aligned, it was. Nice. There. So this one goes in there, holds the cylinder, basically holds it, I think. Ancient technology from another world. M5 screw doesn't want to be there, of course. The only thing a newly lubricated screw wants to do is to fall down on the floor and get dirty. So you have to clean it all again from the beginning and put new grease on it. At this point we could actually just leave it this way, leave it like this. When this being done, both sides are finished in terms of rear axles. Of course, nothing is torqued down to the specifications. I have to look up that and just do it. But at this point, it's coming together. We're not dismantling anything anymore. So next up now, there's this axle connecting these two axle hubs together. That one goes on, and then we have the
A few moments later.
yeah, of course. There's some piping to do. So we're gonna do some new pipes, because they were just rotted off. So the brake line and the suspension line, one of these were they just snapped off. But the other one was just okay, so we can reuse that one. But we need to fabricate a new hydraulic pipe. Perfect. Let's do that. So we're at the workbench and I have a brake line here. This is the one that sits on the right rear suspension arm. And I would like to keep it, but see if this picks up on camera. Focus. Of course it doesn't want to focus. There you have it. So this is why we're not keeping this pipe, because this is corroded almost half the way in there. So we got to make a new one. Let's see how that is done. So here we have the pipe tool that I've made out of 2 pieces of aluminum and some screws and things. Because on Citroën pipes we have this little thing there that stops the fastener from, or it basically stops the pipe from reversing out of its fastening. So we need to fabricate this little thing, this little, I don't know what to say in English. It's a kind of flange or thickening or something. In French we call it olive. It's just like in a bit of an olive thing there. Yeah. So how does this work then? Well, this is a pretty simple tool. I'm more than happy to show how it works. 2 pieces of aluminum is pressed together. In here, let's see if I can get this out. In here we have, looks like this. So I've drilled a hole here. Should have been 4.4 millimeters, but I didn't have that drill, so I made it too big. So I have to have these thin brass things there, because what happens is that when you put these things together, those halves together with the pipe sitting there, it makes the extension in there, because this can't back out and this screw pushes it, and the only way the material can go is here, and that's where this olive is made or created. It's a 4.5 millimeter hole in there, like 10 millimeters in. So let's see if we can make a brake brake line today. After some bending, measuring, we have ourselves a new hydraulic pipe. I recently saw a video. It was an old film from early 70s from the Rennes-la-Chaussée factory in Rennes. And when they fabricated this olive, there was a woman sitting and just sticking in pipes into some kind of machine, and it just went bang, and then half a second and it fabricated this. Where's that machine now today? I want it. Just good enough. So now we can mount this, put this on the rear axle and just be happy. Before I put this one in there, you see there is some grease there, so I never put back things together dry. Never. Always lubricate stuff that's been taken apart. You never know when you want to take it apart again. I think it's there. Then of course I didn't make this perfect because it's almost impossible. So now we have to find the way this will sit and also how it will fit in there. How it will fit in there, because the hose is coming from underneath here and it's attached to a little steel plate there. Yeah, and then we have the. No, I think that's it. So next step now is to connect everything, because somewhere in there, or where is it? Down there, of course. In there somewhere, we have the hole. I think we see it there. I'm pointing with the spanner there, where this transversal pipes are mounted. And there's another pipe I need to fabricate or make. Then we're putting together the stuff in here. And then I would like to tighten everything up. These aren't tightened, for example. And next step then, when everything is connected, do a leak test. Start up the engine, see if it can raise the car up, and there are some leaks, which is of course gonna be. It's always the case when you're done this much work. But brake pipe is done. I'm just gonna fiddle this one into place here, some way, or somehow, or yeah, something like that. Just push this down, and this is already almost there actually. Thanks to these new pipes. These are copper nickel, and they are very easy to bend. So you can make these nice bends. They're not that sharp, they just follow nicely. So it's a real good thing to work with. Yeah, over to next thing. Yeah, welcome to this week's episode of Upsetting the Citroën Restorers Purists. I thought it would be really funny to use these because they're M5 coils, and I just had these sitting in a box, and they're perfect for this purpose by just mounting this little bracket here. So enjoy this episode of Upsetting the Restorer Purists. Look at how nice these fits in here, and they're not visible from outside, or even when you take the wheel off you won't see this because it's underneath the cover here. So yeah, frankly I wouldn't use these if they were like very visible on the car. So thanks for watching this week's episode of Upsetting the Citroën Restorers Purists. Welcome back next week. We're back on the workbench, and just wanted to talk about old brakes. These ones were sitting in a car, and they have obviously been changed sometime. These cannot be the original ones. There's also copper anti-seize paste here. In the early 80s, they started to sell asbest-free brake pads or brake material. When dealing with those old cars, be aware, because especially a brake drum can be just contained with asbest dust from these old brake lines. I don't know anything about this. These looks pretty new, or I don't know. Could be new old stock. I don't know when they were changed. They can be. The car could have had these changed beginning of the 90s, middle of the 80s. I don't know. But these ones could be new old stock, just sitting around in a box. They can be fabricated in the 60s. I don't know. So when taking this apart, I do it outside. I wear protection, and I do it on a windy day, because I want this dust just to fly away. I don't want to inhale it. So like, you might have a new set of brake pads for your GS in a wonderful, beautiful box from the 70s. Looks so nice. It's new old stock. Yeah, it's nice, but it's also full of asbest, or asbestos, I should call it in English. Anyway, let's have this one loosened up, and then we can just put this together again. They are already just, yeah, they're just fine. That's anti-size copper paste. Does the work. I'm gonna have a better tool. Just want to feel these turn freely. We could actually just take these apart and clean them up, because it has developed some rust there. So let's have them taken out and put in the wire wheel machine. It's a bit rusty anyway. Let's clean it up. I think it's on there. The pin goes in. There's the pliers. Here and there goes that one. Let's see if we can manage this one too without any drama. No, we couldn't, because it was sitting so... Yeah, there. Look at that. It's on there. I don't like drum brakes, but the ones on the DS is actually pretty decent to work with. Something like this, and then we need to adjust these with a little tool. But yeah, this is the worst part. Getting that one in there, it's a pretty hard. Should we maybe maybe we should take it this way. It's always easier to pull downwards. It's a long way down there. It's just this tiny little millimeter left that you can't reach, but there it is. Somehow, I don't know how I did it, but well, there it is. And before I adjust this, I'm just gonna put the drum on there, just for protection purpose. So we have the hole there. We have holes everywhere on the drum, so it's very easy to do. Went on perfectly there. From the beginning, I really wanted to have these axle arms and brake drum green, because I thought it looked so nice. And I've seen those pictures of restored cars. I've been following this Swiss guy Citroën for like 15 years, and he still is a really good inspiration for me, even if I'm way way behind him doing car restorations. He's unreal. Anyway, so I wanted to make these ones green. When I took it apart, I realized they were black, original black. So I thought, okay, it's easier with black paint. You can just make them black and make this little green thing there as it is original. Yeah. Today I learned from Citroën that cars made until 1972 have these ones painted green, and from 73 and on they're black. This chassis is a 73 year car. Maybe if it's that corresponds with the LHM container that is green until 72, and then it becomes just unpainted. Yeah, you learn every day in life, new things to learn. Isn't it beautiful? I really love that. Okay, let's go in, have some lunch, and have a walk with Saxo.